Welcome to Lighten Up Talk Radio with Michael Lott,
Snider,
and Michael Braswell.
Join us with topics that wake up the connection to the real you. You can listen to us at lightenuptalkradio.com. Hello, everybody. It's Sunday, January 27th, 2013, and welcome to another episode of Lighten Up Talk Radio. This is Michael Lott here with Lee Snider and Michael Braswell. How are you all doing today?
Wonderful. Great. But we'll get better.
So what goes on in your all's weeks?
Well, my week has been in Charlotte, North Carolina with my mother, and that's been a wonderful week. She needed some little bit of help around the house to be able to get her Christmas decorations down. And so I've kind of put it off for a week or so, and it was just time to do it. So I went up there. I took my son with me, and he was able to do some maintenance work on the home, that just little odds and ends. And so it's been a very productive week, and it's been great. I had a great visit. Saw my daughter. She lives in Charlotte as well. She's getting married. And so we talked a little bit about the wedding. It's going to be in Hawaii.
Ooh, I love Hawaii.
She picked the date while I was there, September the 10th, and her birthday is on the 11th of September, and her fiance's birthday is on the 9th of September. So they actually kind of went in between and went on the 10th, and so we was talking about how I'm going to get there, how much money I need, and
hey y'all, I just thought about this,
and
but
all of that.
We could all go to Hawaii.
Let's go. I know, I'm going. That'd be great. That'd be a great trip.
Go do a little remote over there.
That would be a great trip.
That's awesome.
She's actually going to get married right on the beach, and it's just going to be myself, and I know that two of the brothers is going, and so that will be what it is. She's having a big reception in Charlotte with all the friends. He actually owns part owner in the a restaurant, and he also has a band. And so they have a lot of friends up there. She owns her own business. So they're going to have a pool party. So they kind of waited till September. They're going to do the pool party right before. And it's just going to be a really fun time. She's both of them are 41 years old, never been married, been together now for about 10 years. And so they just bought a house together. They've been in it now about 6 months. So it's been great. It's a celebration time.
Come on.
It is.
That song just kept going.
It is.
Do you realize how many numerology aspects were present as you were talking? The 9th, the 11th, in between with the 10th, the same age.
Yep.
So
go with it, Mr. Braswell.
I'm just saying that was awesome when it was saying that, because they were meant to be there. And they were probably meant to be there because they've been there in that exact sense, that spot in prior lives. So this is part of their journey, and I feel, because there's too many things, too many steps that are there.
I think the interesting part of this, too, if I can go a little further with this, that she actually went with his brother. It's just the two boys, and she actually went with his brother for about 8 years.
Well, we'll ignore that past life.
But the younger brother was, in the picture for 8 years, and they dated for that length of time. And then, so she actually knew, Jimmy the whole time, of course, through the brother. And then when they separated from that, and Jimmy himself had a girlfriend. So about 2 years later, the next thing I know is she's saying, he's asked me out, and she said, I really liked him. And she says, we're going to go on a date and see where it goes. And then look where we're at, It's been 10 years later.
Hey, Michelle, if you're listening to this show, it's nice getting to know you, even though I haven't met you in person yet.
We could do a whole show on you.
Yeah.
The Michelle Show.
The Michelle Show. And she would love it, trust me.
That's great.
I'm not going to pursue it because all these things are coming in about it. So it's kind of cool.
She's the oldest, just have one girl and 3 boys, and so she's the oldest of the group. And it's just exciting. I think it's a very exciting time for all of us right now.
Is the brother the best man?
It's not going to be that type of thing. We're just going to just hang out. She's going on she's already pictured this, and she's going to have this preacher come down that's affiliated with the condominium outfit that we're all staying at, and they're going to be standing in the water and have the flowing dress on. I mean, it's just, I could imagine it like in a movie. And then here's just Mom and two of the brothers just standing there, I guess, in the sand as well, just looking at this and looking at the ocean. And it's just going to be that type of thing, very laid back.
Do you have to sing it again?
No.
Celebration time. Come on.
She should have had me.
That type of
she
thing.
should have had me go over and stand in the water and do the ceremony.
Well,
Oh, that's cool.
hey, that really has not been put to bed yet as far as who that will be. And I would think that would be a wonderful thing.
Is it Waikiki Beach?
Yes, it is.
I've stood in the water on Waikiki
Well,
Beach
that's
before.
where it is, and that is a great idea, Michael. If you were nice to me, I'd probably even pay your way to go.
Michelle, do you hear Michelle?
And the oldest brother has this timeshare situation set up, so we're actually going to go into his timeshare there, and so it's going to be a great situation there.
Wow.
It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
That sounds amazing.
So it was just really a nice visit, and was there to celebrate my birthday, which is not yet. February the 5th is my birthday, by the way. But anyway, that's the first time that I would be able to see her, and so she just came and gave me a present and all that good stuff. So it was a great visit. Enjoyed it.
Nice.
Yep.
February the 5th is your birthday. That makes you, what sign?
Aquarius.
What's your birthday?
I'm the 10th. We're both
February?
Aquarius. That's why we have so many
That's
similar
right. Yep.
things.
That's why I get all this weird energy sitting here between them.
Yeah. Yep.
We're both Aquarians.
I've been Aquarius.
And Ramona, our friend,
Yeah,
her birthday is the same as Michael's.
you're kidding.
No. February the 10th.
I guess being a Cancer, I have enough of a grounding that I'm able to coexist in all of this.
I guess
I'm
that's your-
all air, or the primary signs are all.
What did you just
all
say?
air. I'm all air.
Aquarius is an
He's
air
got
sign,
revelation,
and my moon's in Gemini, and whatever the other one is in Gemini too, which are all air signs.
And I'm Cancer, July 15th. What are all those things for me?
I don't.
So
I'd
I'm
have
not
to look
into
it
all
up.
that.
I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
I don't know it off the top, and I don't remember what Cancer. Not as familiar with.
I'm not really crabby. Lee.
I don't see you crabby at all.
I have
One thing that I will say is that if everybody could see us at this table, it's just like Michael Lott and myself just stare at each other because they were kind of on the same wavelength at times.
You can see the energy line.
And-
I reach over every now and then and just, interrupt it. They stutter.
But Michael Braswell sits on my left, and I've really felt like it's a very calming type of a sign, obviously in Cancer, as I feel very calm when I'm around you. So I don't know whether that has anything to do with the actual sign or not, but it's fun. First time I ever saw you, I was very calm around you.
That's one of the gifts that I believe I've been given in the healing part of me, which is a large part of me. The teaching part of me is that people have always been calm. I've always had this ability to calm people down, either through hypnosis or through just reaching up and working in their energy field, the aura, or just with intention of energy. So it's a gift, and I can understand you saying it, and I appreciate you saying it because it validates what I've always felt.
I would say that you're probably the only person that I've met in my lifetime that can calm me. Totally calm me. So that's another accolade there.
I don't even use it too before, Michael.
But it really
that's
does.
funny.
It's a very interesting thing to say to you because I feel totally calm when I'm with you.
I
And
love
that's
being
a wonderful
calm.
thing.
It's where I'm at home in calmness. So it's I guess it's just part of my nature now.
It is.
I appreciate that. Well, I bet you're excited then about Hawaii.
I am excited. And I always keep saying to myself, I believe it when I see it, but I think this time around I'm going to see it. I believe she is going to do this.
I just did a little thing. I think you are water. I think Cancer is a water sign.
Now, I feel very calm, and whenever I get excited or out of kilter, I go to two places. I go to water, And then if I can't get water, I go to the mountains. Those two places. Water more than anything.
Yeah.
I can sit by water and I'm in an altered state immediately. The mountains, I just love the beauty and it calms me. But water automatically gives me an altered state. So I appreciate that. Probably true.
It sounds right because it's kind of a cyclical, and I just kind of went through the cycles of, and I believe it makes sense that it is.
Yeah. That's the way I feel about water. I know when we went to the beach over the summer, I could just sit out there on the sand and just watch the waves come in. It was just like I was in just a really hypnotic type feeling about me. I could just kind of see through it.
Now, what's her, what are the two people getting married again? What are their names?
Michelle and Jimmy.
And Jimmy, are they, in your opinion, are they soulmates or are they soul flames?
I think flames.
Flames? Mm-hmm. Do you know the difference?
Well, a soulmate to me, well, no, explain it. Go ahead.
I
want you to explain it because I want you to talk about soulmate. We just talked about that earlier, and you was going to do that. So go ahead and talk about the whole thing.
Okay, soulmate, in my opinion, and in what I've been given, a soulmate can be anyone. A soulmate is someone who's entered into your contract that will take part in your existence here, teaching you or learning from you. They may be in your life for a long term. They may be in your life for a moderate term or just very, very quick. Soulmate is not necessarily a romantic thing. A soulmate is someone who's been with you in prior lifetimes who keep, because of some kind of compatibility, to keep coming into lives with you. It could be in one life a sister, in one other life a friend, in one life a mother. It could be an enemy in that life. Someone that's come into your life that loves you so much that they've taken the role of someone to teach you a lesson in adversity in this life. So a soulmate can be anyone at any given time for any length of time within your human existence. Flames, soul flames, are people who've totally different arrangements. They've come into your life to be more or less in a romantic relationship with you through several lifetimes, not every lifetime, because there are lifetimes when you go through that entire human incarnation feeling there's someone for you, but you never saw them, you never met them. You may go through multiple marriages. You may go through multiple relationships. A repetitive pattern is set up. You're searching. And you want it so desperately in a lot of cases that when you find someone that you feel a compatibility and a love with, and you think that might be your soul flame, you enter into a marriage with them, knowing on some level it won't work probably because that's not your soul flame for that incarnation. That in itself is lessons which we'll talk about in another program maybe, but a soul flame is someone that you do seek out in every lifetime to be a romantic, in love relationship with. Split flame is someone that's just a passion. A passion. You know immediately. People that had been married 50, 60 years in a lifetime who still hold hands and still kiss and still look at each other, they're split flames. It's not a codependency. It's far beyond that in a healthy way. So maybe that helps explain it a little bit.
It helps explain the split flame because that's the first time I've ever heard that. Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
There's a flame, soul flame, and then there's a split flame, which is, from everything that I've ever received, is the highest part of
is
being.
That similar to a twin flame?
Twin flame is probably a soul flame.
That's what I was. Because a lot of people, that twin flame word's real common. Mm-hmm. So
Right.
I didn't want to.
Split flame is the same.
Okay.
You're not complete in that lifetime till you've met that split flame and got with them. A soul flame, twin flame, you seek them and you don't feel, just like the soul flame. They're the same I think. You feel incomplete in that lifetime as far as romantic adventures. You seek, but you never find. So,
Cool.
That's
great.
That's my story.
And you're sticking to it.
Yes, ma'am.
So, how has your week been?
My week was a very calm week. The economy has kept it a little bit light at the spa, which in a way is good, in a way it's bad. I hate that we're not making as much money on a human level as we could, but then it's taken me away from hustle and bustle enough that I can relax more. And when you relax more, of course, you get more from Spirit World. So it's helped me in that way. I've gotten a lot of insights, a lot of information on some things that I didn't even know was interesting to me.
Not to mention, we've had some snow and cold spells here, which definitely has kept people off the roads.
Ice.
Especially
Ice.
Where the spa is. Oh, God.
It absolutely put me in the state of actually fixing a chocolate cake.
Very good chocolate cake.
It was.
Actually, a yellow with chocolate frosting.
Yellow chocolate
to get
frosting.
exact.
Yeah.
And
I got desperate and I was just bored.
folks, do you know what it took to get her to cook? It took getting Dandridge on national news as being declared undrivable. That's got her to the point where she baked a cake.
I will go even further than that because I got a message from Mr. Braswell that said, don't go anywhere today because Dandridge is, non-drivable. Like, I'm sitting here in Dandridge and I cannot look out my own window to see that there's ice up to my ankles. But I feel so happy that he sent me this message to make sure that I didn't drive.
She needs validation, folks.
I thought that was just great of him to do that. And, but anyway, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Spirit. That's where I got it.
Oh, wow.
I read that message.
You better not pursue it.
Yeah. I read that message and I thought to myself, he must think that I'm absolutely an idiot. I get in the car to go out there with this ice.
She's kind of blonde,
ankles.
isn't she?
So you can see that part of me was just irritated with it. The other part of me was saying, well, isn't that sweet? He doesn't want me to get hurt.
On my spiritual level, I was wanting to protect you. And on my human level, it said, let's see what we could do to irritate the hell out of her today.
Well, you accomplished both ends. Michael, tell us about your week.
Well, my week was very busy. And a lot of intense change this week. It seems like every week, that's about all I say. I have some kind of change because change is constant. I would say there's a couple of phases here that have been going on with me. One is I'm in a cycle of kind of confusion of where I'm at and what's going on, and not sure where I'm going with this. And as we had the conversation earlier when we were talking about this before the show, I have heard this, what I think Michael Braswell said on the TV, different things. It's been coming into my head that, that's an indication that you're about ready to have a big breakthrough, and so I'm putting that out there because you all, if anyone's going through a period of confusion within yourself, boredom, things just aren't quite exciting as usual, it's very likely that you're going through one of these cycles of getting ready to have a breakthrough on some level. So that's been going on. So I had a breakthrough once this week already, as far as speaking my truth at work with an area. And what followed from all of that was put me into this place of just being in a creative space. So when we had all that snow, I spent all of my time doing some dancing, drawing, painting, and listening to a lot of music. And I just started getting into this creative space with the music and the painting and all of this stuff, and just really enjoyed it. I felt more in the moment even with all of it than I've ever been in those avenues. And one thing that was real interesting as I was listening to music, I started hearing the foundational rhythms within the sounds, and they would just like as if they would just be raised up, so that I could hear just the rhythm, the timing of the song, the beat, and I would just immediately go right into it. And the more that I got into it and my painting and all that stuff, I just kept being given these messages that I was seeing from all of this, was that every creation has some sort of foundation that it's built upon. And so like the music, for example, I was being drawn to the beat and the type of songs, and I could see that the beat and then all these different layers would create this music. And in the painting that I was working on, I was being shown the foundation that I was working from was the mediums that I was working with were kind of my foundational creation tools. And from there, I was putting layer upon layer onto this foundation. And that was a metaphor for my life, and that I was being shown all these little things, and that these last couple of years I've been really working on my foundation, which is really getting into the rhythm of my own love and the expression of my own love in this life, and how it flows. And it was just real interesting how these are creative avenues were taking me, and they were like vehicles into seeing that so clearly, and how important it is to create a masterpiece of art. You have to start with a foundation and then build upon it. So if you want to live a masterpiece life, you have to base your life on something that has a solid rhythm or beat or medium that you're building from. And for me, that's love, and what is my unique rhythm of love that I have to give and receive, that cycle. And so it really got me in that mode, and I felt like it's the precipice of something more is about ready to explode from it. But so I've been really thinking about a lot of that this weekend, doing all that, and I feel very inspired by it.
And you look inspired by it. That's a good thing.
Uh-huh. Cheshire cat.
The energy has been pretty incredible the last couple of weeks for me. I've had a lot. I can get to the energy level as far as when I'm awake about 3 in the afternoon, from 3 to about 5. I'm out for the count. It's like it's just like it's just spinning around my head. I've had that before, but not as intense as it's been this year. And my eyes gets very blurred. I'm like looking through a clouded look, and it is just spinning as fast. It's just like I'm in a vortex, just spinning around. The next thing that I'm getting messages from of just relax and let go, and I fall down on the love seat over here in the den, and I'm out. And it can be 2, 3, 4 hours week before last.
So you have a late afternoon nap?
And that's pretty well happening every day.
Do you do harmonic therapy?
Yeah.
I knew not to even bring up this topic because I knew I'd have comedians here at the at the table with me.
Harmonic therapy. That was a good one, Michael.
I just kicked him under the table, so I hope you have a big bruise.
Hope Mike doesn't hurt so much.
I've talked to a number of people that have called me on the phone last couple of weeks, and they're just very confused about the energy. I had one this morning. I haven't even called her back yet. But totally different than what they've had before. Don't even understand what's going on with them. And just confusion. It's a very interesting... I don't get into the confusion part of it personally. I just take it as it comes, and that's what it is. And that's just my state. But a lot of confusion with exactly what's going on, how are you feeling about it, la, 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 la. It's just last week and the week before really was an epidemic of that type of thinking. And they don't have any idea what's going on in their life. I would venture to say to just sit down and just enjoy it, because there's a reason why it's happening. And it seems like that confusion is what it is. And I keep going back to 2012 was the year to shed things. And I keep saying this to people. If it hasn't been shedding, it's still coming over in 2013. So it's time to let it go. The same patterns, the same stories, the same everything is going on in your life. There's definitely time to now let it go. And I'd just like to put that out there as far as the energy is concerned.
Do you think an issue with them letting it go is they don't know how? A lot of people.
I would agree with that. I'd also agree that it's habit.
Yeah, repetitive.
Some
pattern.
people just like repetitive type things, and they're very habit forming. And their thought patterns stay the same. And when you bring into something, well, if you thought about this, if you thought about that, you feel resistance with it. So it's time to just totally shed that part of you.
Remember that old definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results each time.
You know what's interesting? The thought was popping into my head. It's always great to be working and just letting go of these things, but there's also times and cycles that are blessed and even more easy to shed some of these things. And I think for a lot of different folks now, this may be a really intense time for some of that. And I'm definitely no astrologer. I just like learning little bits at a time.
All right.
But I believe we're in this because yesterday was the full moon here in Tennessee, and it was very powerful for me. And I always, I think let's go through a spiritual detox through that. But this one in particular was I'm going to use a very strong word, but it took me into the schizophrenic thoughts where you go back and forth in the head. Because that's how it was. It was like back and forth. And I specifically chose to look at the thing racing in my mind, going back and forth, trying to hold on to something. I didn't even know what that something was, and it didn't really matter to me at the moment, but my mind was racing, trying to hold on to this or that, and I just saw myself just letting go and just releasing and falling back into all that is. And it was very helpful for me. I had to do it a couple of times when that would happen. But sometimes in the full moon, it's very emotional. Like it's total emotional time. Everything gets raw, just totally raw into the bone, right in the heart center. I could just, when you beat a drum, it's like 10 times more sensitive for me. A lot of times around the heart, feeling that energy pulse. But some people, the cycles, it helps to release in the cycles. And being in the full moon, in 3 days before and 3 days after, you're still in the pretty significant energy of it. So this is a real good time to do that, to put into intention if you're aware of it. And if you're not, you can even do as I was saying that I was doing, just surrender and release from holding on to anything, any feelings of that.
There's been a lot of dreams.
That's a full moon time is a very powerful time to get a lot of dreams too, going along with all of that.
A lot of dreams going on. I had the same dream all night long. I went to a birthday party last night, so I was, got in about 11 o'clock. But I just went totally to bed and went into a dream. And then I woke up about 1. I got up, went to the restroom, came back, went straight right back into the dream. Don't even remember even putting my head on the pillow. Went straight back into the dream again. And when I woke up this morning around 8 o'clock, I had just finished the dream. It was still going on. And the whole dream all night long was how to develop a business.
Yeah, that wasn't a dream.
I can't wait to hear more about that one. But you know what's interesting? Michael, you said that you didn't have quite as intense the last couple of days as
very calm
as we've had. But I'm just going to roll with this because it keeps going ahead. You know, we are in a full moon in Aquarius. So that energy, the Aquarian energy, the full moon is oftentimes about the receptivity and the receiving. And the Aquarian energy is so that new, constantly wanting to evolve, bring in the new and all that stuff. And it so strikes me to the core just talking about that's what's going on with me right now. And to realize that we are in the full moon energy to assist with that.
Well, glad you said
for
that.
For us, you
right.
and me, since being
right.
Aquarian sun signs.
That had not even crossed my mind.
That kept popping in my head, so I thought, well, I guess I need to...
Thank you for that. That was great. Now I'm getting back over here to the left-hand side of me of Mr. Braswell. I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about what I just spoke about.
I just received something when he said something.
Okay, there you go.
Round
this is the way we go.
You know, you were talking about Aquarius, how wanting the new and
Correct.
opening it up and wanting to go and go and go and go. One of the things, I'm a Cancer. One of the things about Cancerians, they're stay-at-home types. They're the calm, peaceful. And that's what I had in the full moon. It really intensified my feeling of happiness and calmness at just being by myself and being alone at home. And sensitivity, full moon to me brings out a lot of sensitivity within me too, because Cancers are real sensitive people. And
men have a cycle too, you know.
Yes, we do. I watched a little, and it was cute. I bought a cartoon movie. I rented one. It's called the Paranormal Norman. It's real cute. It's about this young kid that sees spirits. And I found myself at one point in there tearing up because I got caught up in the emotions of what was going on that screen. Cartoon characters. And I was able to, without knowing it, get caught up in the emotions of those characters. And I thought to myself when that happened, I said, this is cartoons. And then it hit me, though, but it's an energetic portrayal on that screen. So the emotions are there and they're real for people who have sensitivity. And I just thought it was kind of cool that even though I was home, I was in a calm mood and everything, my sensitivity was wide open to not only receive information and stuff, but to get caught up and connect with what was going on around me. So I thought that was really neat.
That is cool.
And it's times, which I know you pretty well, Michael, but at times I'm glad that you brought that to my attention about sensitivity, because I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it's there, but I personally don't see that.
I think
it's very interesting that I feel like there's always a hidden part that can't be 100% opened up. And I have felt like that since the first time I ever met you. And it's very interesting how you said that, because that just really put it in a different perspective for me.
I wonder if that's me or if it's a typical trait of Cancers. I don't know Cancers that much.
Just spent, this is funny, we're having this conversation in the middle of the week. I was talking with a friend who has multiple cancers in their life and sun signs, and they had very similar traits with what we're talking about. And one of the big lessons for Cancers is getting their heart can get stuck in an old heart related issue, a lot of times in relationships, and it's one of their big lessons. And if they can step through that that lesson, so to speak, that energetic lesson, they have such the ability to love and be loved on a deep level, but there's an attachment that is the lesson, because there's an energy that wants to attach with a past love, a past this, a past that, and it's a very strong Cancerian trait. And we were talking about that. We were looking in her life at all three cancers, and I know two besides you, Michael, but you didn't come up because I didn't know you were Cancer at the time. But 1, 2, 3, and I was like, oh my gosh, every one of them has had these struggles with attachments to people, and if they don't get over it and learn the lesson, their lives just go papoot, like they just kind of put out. Because they're so sensitive, so heart sensitive on some level, and if they don't find their own sense of self of who they are out of that and cut the cord, they can get stuck really easily, even easier than a lot of the other. We were just talking about that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Sweet.
That's why we're supposed to be bringing it up now.
Yeah. That does make a lot of sense.
Yes, it
Because
does.
I can see that exactly, fitting me where I am now, and what you said about the not being in a bunker or a barrier, but still not quite opening up. Mm-hmm. Come a long way, I feel, lately in doing that, and there's still some room to grow in there. So I would tell all cancers out there, realize this about yourself. Realize that we are highly sensitive. When we love hard. We love with everything we got. We also feel pain that way. You feel pain and you love the same way, same mechanism. And sometimes it is hard to sever the relationships or sever that past pain and that past lost love, which is pain. So that was a good statement. I'm glad you brought that out. So
you clarified it even more from speaking from that place of experiencing those things. That was really...
So I would tell cancers, be aware of that. And if you find that you're having a repetitive pattern of setting up failed relationships, even before they start almost, think about that you're doing nothing but you're like that little gopher or that little what kind of animal is that runs around in that wheel?
Hamster.
Hamsters. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a gopher running in a wheel. All right.
Aren't they cute? Those
They're
little
adorable.
animals, they're adorable. But you're
It's a
like
hamster.
that hamster in that wheel. You're running. You're getting nowhere. You're the same place you were an hour ago if you're still running. So you're like that in that you're in the same spot you were in that other relationship, and that other relationship, and that other relationship. You can't fully open yourself up and become involved in that relationship 100% because somewhere in you've learned to do that is to feel pain. To do that is to lose love. To do that is to become less than what you want to feel in this life. So be aware of that and try to work on that with yourself. And I would say if you're out of a relationship and you're Cancer, don't get in another relationship now. It's not time for you. Work on yourself. Because you can never have a good, healthy relationship with another person if you don't have a good, healthy relationship with yourself. You can never love another person if you don't love yourself.
That is beautifully said.
And that was very profound because the light started blinking.
Did it?
And
Yeah, it did. Right.
That's always our great sign, because when that light over the station
something.
monitor, and we know that is a profound statement that's been made, and it started blinking.
When you were talking, I went on a date maybe 5 or 4 years ago with a Cancer that someone set me up with, and he was so afraid of getting hurt again, and that was so because
we're not that way at all. We're both Aquarians. We're not that way at all.
It's hard for me to understand when I'm in that kind of thing, and they so needed that something assurance of something that it was just us talking about it even clarifies it that much more, to see the energy that was so powerful that.
Another aspect of it affects if you're a Cancer and that happens to you and you do feel pain in a failed relationship or the passing of someone or whatever reason it was, you lost that love, you lost that intimate relationship, it affects your self-esteem in that, whoa, I may not be worthy of enough person to have a good, healthy relationship. Maybe this is all I'm ever going to have. So some people get stuck in the, well, this is all I'm worthy of, so I'll just go into another one and see where it leads.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah. So.
That's very interesting because as an Aquarian, the Aquarian's always looking at that person saying, what have I not done?
Yeah.
There's something that I haven't done yet that I need to do to be able to wake this Cancer up. And the Aquarian always puts it right there in the heart area of feeling like that they haven't done enough to be able to help that person get over that,
well said,
whatever
Lise.
that it is.
And even though it's not you at all.
Now I understand that, and thank you so much for clarifying that. But this has been a very awakening show today. But it's very interesting because Aquarians are always wanting to help other people and always looking at other people and saying, what, I see that there's a little box here that's closed. It's got a little key on it. Now, how can I help that person unlock that key and go there? And go there. So that type of thought pattern with Aquarians is there. It's always there. And so at times when you don't really think that maybe that you've missed something about unlocking that key, then you start putting it right back on yourself saying, well, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. We have a tendency, Michael and I, we're both Aquarius, of course, we've talked about that, but we have a tendency to go that route instead of looking at the example of a Cancer of saying this is just a characteristic. We look at ourselves and say there's something that we've done that has created this person not to love me enough.
You know what you've just said? No matter what sign you are, no matter what, and it's all one energy.
Right.
But in our understandings on this level, no matter what energy you come from, it all comes down to what is it about me that's not enough?
Right.
That is the core. No matter what situation it is.
That's true.
No matter what experience it is. No matter how profoundly successful you are and don't know it, it all comes back to what do I lack? What is it about me that was not enough?
That's interesting. That is so it.
That's
and
it.
The astrology and all these different things are just perspectives. They're perspectives of looking, archetypes. Like each sign is an archetype, and we all have all the archetypes or energies within us. And it's just interesting because they're just different perspectives from which you're looking out from. Yep. But it can be so helpful and fun to kind of look at that and see what some of those common energies are.
And where does that thought come from? It is an illusion given to you by ego to keep you there, safe under its control.
So I'm choosing to break that totally off.
That's one of the goals of spirituality, definitely, is breaking that and getting your ego to know and not fear spirituality, to cooperate with it. And that can be done.
The desire my desire to help people overcomes everything for me. I've always felt like, and we talked about this earlier, just with raising children or whatever, I always want the best for everybody. And so I always look at that person and I try to do the best that I possibly can to be that for that person. And at times it has left me out of that energy myself because I've given so much away that there's been a part of me that has not given myself enough, which brings in the self-doubts of how can a person not love me as much as I love them. It's a very interesting scenario that you can look at within yourself. And that story keeps coming back to me And that is one that is to be shed. Because I feel like that I'm worthy of anyone.
Or anything.
Or anything. I actually feel that way. But the first time that something comes that doesn't work out in my thought pattern of I've given it really all that I can, and then it falls back on me again, and I'm saying, oh, what have I not done?
And we've talked on another show.
What have I not done about this?
We've talked on another show. It's where you accept responsibility in areas where you shouldn't, causing you to give away your power.
Correct. So I think as far as the three people sitting at this table, we've learned a lot today at this show.
No doubt.
Woo! And it's been a very in-depth show, and hopefully that all the people that is listening to us can get some type of sense out of what we're talking about today to help yourselves. And it's just a great feeling for me to be able to sit here every week with these two superior great guys, and just feel very special about doing that.
Why, thank you, Lee.
Yep.
Thank you
feel
very
the
much.
same with you.
Same way.
And Michael Braswell over here. This has just been an amazing taking myself to a whole new openness level, just sitting here at this table and allowing ourselves to share whatever comes up in the moment.
I would love to know that the people that is out there listening to us to really take on the energy to have best friends. And to have someone that you can speak with. There's so many people that keep so much stuff so bottled up in them because they just fear. I think it's a lot of times out of fear to be able to really open themselves up to talk to somebody. And I can't imagine anybody at the table that I'm sitting at today that I really could not say whatever I wanted to at any given time, and they take it as what it is. And the same way I feel about them with me. And I encourage all that's out there to get yourself in a situation to where you have a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Or someone that you can just pour your heart out at any given time and release a lot of the energies that you're feeling within you that doesn't work for you any longer. And to be able to release that and to let it go with no judgment on either party.
It's a beautiful thing.
This year, are you going to have the capacity or capability for people to send emails in?
They can now. lightenuptalkradio@gmail.com.
I would suggest that if you get benefit or derive benefit out of the show, or you hear something profoundly that does help you in a way, or it raises a question within you that you cannot let go, email us.
That'd be fantastic. We'd love to help you out. Again, that's lightenuptalkradio@gmail.com, or you can go to our website, lightenuptalkradio.com, and there's a contact button on there little form you can just fill out, and it'll send us an email.
And if you would like to be put on mailing lists for the future, or if you'd like to be invited to different programs that we may be developing for this year, different trainings, please send us an email and let us know so that we will know at that time to call and issue you an invitation and hope to be blessed by your energy there.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some various programs this year, and so that's a great idea to put that out there.
See, I come up with one every now and then.
That's fantastic.
Yes, we've got them scheduled, and we don't know exactly what all they're going to be, but we're going to have at least one or two a month, and we're looking very forward to anyone that would like to be able to be a part of it, to just
send us an email.
Send us an email.
Hey, we're all one energy. Reconnect with that energy with us.
Sounds great. Well, I think we've wrapped the show up for today. Lots of love to you all. Have a blessed week.
I'm planning on having a great week. Got a couple of appointments this week up in Knoxville and looking forward to it.
Already have a great one. I just haven't let my reality catch up with it yet.
Oh, God.
That's real deep. Lots of love.
Thank you.